And so, you know, when they wanted to downsize, we all, I think, were understanding because it was going to be helpful to ratepayers. But clearly, in my mind, in the minds of my constituents, it's not worked. The electric bill has risen without the increased staff, and the delays to get restoration has gone on a long, long time. 9 days in some cases in the northwest corner. 9 days. An eighth of a mile from the center of Litchfield, where electricity probably was never lost, in an elderly housing complex, an eighth of a mile, they went without power until Sunday night. There was no solution. The first selectman was on the phone every day. It was on their list as a high priority, and everybody had something else to do. And I looked in the center of town, and there was an open switch. And drove down the street, and there was not a down wire. And I saw closed switches. And I called Eversource, and I said, if these switches are opened to isolate the problem beyond them, and these switches are closed, don't we put power onto that senior center? And they said, well, we don't know. We don't know. I said, well, how about if I give you 20 minutes to get here, and then I'll show you whether it works or not. And they showed up. And they said, you're right, it does work. And so someone with some understanding of that circuit being called back might say, hey, you know what? Did anybody look at this? Did anybody look at that? We don't need to string 8 new poles to give them power. We can give them power. And by the way, it'll work toward our 95%. But more than that, people that are probably in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of their life don't have to spend it without taking a shower or a hot meal. And that's the part that really irked me about the things that happened during this storm. The other thing is, I think it's because there's no clear guidance from somebody here that's close. Everything comes from outside the state of Connecticut. Anytime you want to get an answer, you've almost got to steal a number from somebody else, and then sooner or later you're almost in Massachusetts or New Hampshire. And I don't see how any functioning company could work that way, especially with the intricacies of a power company. So I really do think that some of this hands-on effort, some of this local control effort, some of the communication center that you talked about with the municipalities of the high priorities really needs to be studied again, and it needs to be done sooner rather than later.